Hi there, and today I'm going to show you how I'm going to design the connection between the rudders that are outside on the servos that are inside all this watertight, obviously. So I'm gonna draw this and show you on paper my idea. Now I know it works because I've done it and it works, but at first I wasn't too sure. Quite happy it did turn out to work. So this is the top of the submarine. I'm going to have a fin at the top and one fin at the bottom to turn left and right. One with each servo to turn left and right. Now these are the fins I'm going to use. They're a thin sheet of plexiglass. I've glued 2 layers, one on each other to make it a bit thicker. Just cut out fins in plexiglass. So I'm going to have a hole at the top and at the bottom of the same diameter, and I need to go through with an axis of some kind. I'm going to use an aluminium tube, 6mm diameter. I've got this already. I have bought bearings of 6mm diameter and inner diameter. That's the servo, and the axis of the servo has to correspond to the axis of the aluminium tube I'm going to put to turn left and right. So it's got to be able to rotate on itself, but it will have to be waterproof. And this is not going to be easy. I'm going to have to use bearings, obviously, because I need a rotation movement. I bought inner diameter 6mm. Outside diameter is probably 1.5 centimeter. That's the basic idea. That's the basic principle. It's got to be watertight. I don't want water inside the submarine. I've got to have enough flexibility to turn to rotate without it being too hard on the servos. Now this, I was very lucky to find something this shape in the little parts and bits in my workshop. I've just found something in plastic which I should show you actually. So there they are, these black rubber plastic which just fit on the aluminium, and they're absolutely perfect, and I'm going to help make it all watertight. I was very lucky finding this. They've got the shape of a funnel. They're a bit larger at one end, flat. The inner diameter is 6mm, which is perfect for my aluminium rudder, aluminium axis. It just fits in, and with a bit of grease, I'm going to grease this all to make it watertight. It's going to be incredible, and it's going to work perfectly. I was really lucky to just find these. Don't know what they are, don't know what they're for, but they just work fine. So let's carry on with the design. I want to use the top of a water bottle. So you'll have the hole in the main body of the submarine. I want to cut the top of a bottle of water off with the screw-on lid. I want to put it through like this and glue it. So inside it will be very thin, and it will stick outside with the thread where I can screw on the top of the bottle, the water bottle top. And in this top I'm going to drill a hole in which the axis is going to come out with that black rubber plastic thing, tube. This is going to stick out. It's going to be compressed by the top lid of the bottle when it's going to screw on. So this little bit is going to pass through there. It's going to be squeezed in and compressed by the simply screwing on the bottle top, which will have a hole in, that's it, and have a hole on the top to let the axis through. And that is how I intend to make the whole thing waterproof. So just another sketch, a little larger to show you better and then I'm going to show you the real thing that's actually done and finished and works. That is the lid, the water bottle lid, top screw on top. Through it is going to go this little rubber black part I've just showed you. I'm going to try and do it tight. Through this whole thing I'm going to put obviously the aluminium tube that acts as the axis, which will move inside the other parts. All this will be greased to rotate easily and to be waterproof. And this is the bottle top, the top of the... No, sorry, this is the bearing. This is one bearing. I'm going to put two bearings actually. I'm going to put one bearing on the top, two bearings for each rudder, for each fin, so 4 bearings total. Why? Well, simply to try and have an axis quite straight and keeps into position, and it just adds a layer of security that I can fill up between the two bearings. I'm going to fill up with grease. This is going to add waterproofness, if I may. This is the top of the bottle of water. There's going to be 2 bearings, one top of the other, with a gap in between the two, 5 millimeters, and full of grease. That will make it very watertight. And I've even done something more. I've actually drilled the tube and filled it with grease. So it's a little more complicated. This are not the final length. So on the aluminium tube slides in this little black rubber plastic. This is the top of a bottle of water I have already cut off. It's going to go through the submarine. This is just a bit of plastic I have managed to grind down to the right diameter. I'll show you how in another video. This is the lid of the bottle of water, and I have cut through the hole. So there goes the top of the bottle of water. The lid on it, it's going to screw on. It's going to be screwed on nice and tight and nice and waterproof. And this part will be much smaller, obviously. This is not going to be very long. I'm going to cut it here, right? This is a whole long bunch of plastic. I'm going to cut a small diameter off it. So I've got the 2 water bottle tops, and I have glued inside them the grey diameter thing you see. The black rubber plastic is gonna just sit on the grey sort of circle I've glued inside the top of the bottle. It's gonna be screwed nice and tight and full of grease. Okay. Well, I'll show you more in a further video on how I manufactured all these parts. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested.